Hey guys, my name is Mitna Ngo, and today I'll be talking about online shopping safety. So online shopping has become a very big part of everyday life, but can be very dangerous if it is not used safely. For example, in December 2009, I was shopping online for an iPod Touch, and I came across an amazing deal, one for $160, and they're normally priced at $300. So I knew I had to have this, and I bought it right away. But just about 5 minutes later, the seller deletes his account. And so I contacted him, and he reassured me that 3 days later I would be receiving something. And yeah, I did receive something, but it definitely wasn't an iPod Touch. It was a picture of an iPod Touch. And this is what I spent my $160 on, and because of this, I became a victim of online scamming. So with the constant development of new technology, we can now purchase things online with just one click of a button. In fact, Fifth Gear says that 72% of U.S. adults shop online. And because of higher gas prices, the University of Berkeley states that 20% of those consumers that shop online have increased their buying. So it is more important today than ever to know how to safely purchase things online. And in order to understand these things, we need to look at the risks involved, some tips that you can use to become a safer online shopper, and if you ever become a victim like I was, what do you do next? So the first thing that you need to be aware of is identity theft. And identity theft is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as the illegal use of someone else's personal information in order to obtain money or credit. This can be very dangerous because the most popular kind of identity theft is credit card fraud. And in credit card fraud, the person will pretend to be you. They will call your credit card company and change your address and create a new account. And because of your change of address, you never receive any bills, and as a result, your credit card score will be ruined. The next thing you need to look out for are hackers. And hackers are closely related to identity theft because they gain access to unauthorized data because of their computer savviness. And lastly, you need to look out for scams. Scams are defined by the government of South Australia as a dishonest attempt to trap you into parting with your money. Most of the time, scams are too good to be true, and you're just too crazy to refuse such a deal as that one. But at the end of the day, you either receive something totally different or you never receive anything at all. So what can you do to prevent these things from happening? First of all, if a deal looks too good to be true, then it more than likely is. So use this as a red flag to avoid any scam from happening in the first place. Next, you can choose your credit card over a debit card when you're purchasing things online. Most of the time, people will not tell you to use your credit card over a debit card or cash, but if you use your credit card responsibly, then you most definitely should. Credit cards can offer protection from identity theft that debit cards will not, and they will give you a certain amount of time that you can report any fraudulent charges. But with a debit card, the criminal can sweep out your entire bank account before you even realizing that there's a problem. So always remember you use a credit card. Next, you need to verify your website security, and you can do this by looking at the lower right-hand corner of your screen to see if you see a small lock icon. And if you do, this means that the website is secure. But if you do not, that means that any personal or credit card information that you put on those forms, anyone can gain access to that information. So always remember to verify your website security. Next, you need to avoid using any public computers because you don't know who has access to these computers, and you don't know what type of spyware, malware, or viruses are on these computers. So use your own personal computer at home. And lastly, don't store information anywhere. There are some websites that will give you the opportunity to put in your personal and credit card information so that the next time you log in, it will be a lot faster for you to shop. And yeah, it is faster, but it is very dangerous because if there is some type of data breach in the system, your personal information can be stolen. So just remember to manually input your personal and credit card information each time. That way you can avoid these things from happening. But even if you do use all these tips correctly, anything can still happen. So, if you ever become a victim like I was, what do you do next? First, you need to breathe. Don't panic. Work it out directly with the seller by sending him emails, sending letters, or trying to call him by phone. Next, you can contact your credit card provider for further assistance because they will protect your money from hackers and scammers by temporarily freezing your account and stopping any further damage from happening. And lastly, you can file a complaint with either the website that you used or the website that you used to make any money transfers. This should be the last resort though if you cannot work it out directly with the seller alone. And whenever you file a complaint, the investigating agent will review both sides and determine if you deserve to have your money back or not. And if the investigation results in your favor, the seller has no choice but to give you a refund. So today we have explored the risks involved, a few tips that you can use to become a safer online shopper, and what to do next if your security is ever compromised. And like I said at the beginning, online shopping has become a big part of everyday life. And the most important thing always is your protection and your privacy. So do what you want to do, but always remember to do it safely and securely. Thank you.